many of you are familiar with this line, said by Alana Thompson of TLC's Honey Boo Boo? I wish I had an extra finger, then I could grab more cheese balls. Or what about this one? I really do like chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets is like my family. As funny as these are, they point towards a scary trend of unhealthy eating that's happening today in America. An obsession with processed and unhealthy foods that's quite alarming and really dangerous. Although America is no longer the fattest nation in the world, it's still a country of overeaters and fast food fanatics. Obesity is a costly and deadly disease that must be addressed and solved. Today, I will explain the problem of obesity in America, and I will introduce my plan to solve it. Lastly, I will portray what the future could look like if this disease is left untreated. But first, let me introduce you to the disease. Obesity is defined as a condition characterized by an accumulation of excess body fat, generally associated with adverse health effects like heart disease, arthritis, and gout, according to Jamie Pope, who is a registered dietitian and nutrition professor here at Vanderbilt University. Pope defines overweight as a moderate amount of excess body weight or a moderate amount of excess body fat or any other weight that can come from extra muscles, heavy bone, or extra water. And over the past 25 years, obesity rates have steadily been climbing. This graphic from the CDC shows what percentage of each state's population is obese. And as you can see, over the years, the CDC has actually had to add more colors to the map to accommodate for how many adults in each state are obese. Today, 35% of the U.S. adult population is obese, and over 70% of the U.S. adult population is overweight. However, adulthood obesity isn't the only kind that needs our attention. Childhood obesity rates have been skyrocketing over the past several years. According to the Journal of the American Medical Association, of kids ages 2 to 19, 16.9% of them, or over 12.5 million, are currently obese. And the CDC reports that 1 out of every 3 children or adolescents is obese or overweight. And these kids are at risk for many health problems, including cardiovascular disease and diabetes. However, they often also have social and psychological problems, including low self-esteem and depression. Contributing to this epidemic is fast food portions and pricing. A BuzzFeed video compared McDonald's cup sizes in the United States to McDonald's cup sizes in other countries. And as you can see, everywhere else had smaller cup sizes in the United States. Additionally, an American medium of 21 ounces is already 1 ounce bigger than a Japanese large. Salute Today, which is a social media campaign aimed at raising awareness about Latino health issues, reports that the average income person spends about $7 per day on food, while a low-income person can spend only about $4 per day on food. 2,000 calories of low energy dense food, which is food low in fat and low in empty calories and really high in nutrients, can cost upwards of $36 per day. However, 2,000 calories of junk food can cost as little as $3.52 per day. So now that you're familiar with the prevalence of obesity, let me introduce my plan to eradicate this disease. Elimination of obesity won't be easy, but with a multifaceted approach, we can hopefully slowly tackle its prevalence. First, kids and adults need to be informed on how to eat healthfully. We can't expect America to get slimmer without informing the population about proper nutrition. So while most government campaigns focus on kids, they ignore the 70% of the adult population that is overweight or obese. Because honestly, it's very hard to effectively reach adults with just awareness programs. That's why I'm proposing that the federal government incentivizes community centers and grocery stores that have classes that teach participants how to create well-balanced, healthy meals on a budget. But where does this all start, really? It starts when we're young, and it starts when we're in school. State laws should mandate that only healthy options be served at lunchtime, and nutrition lessons should be incorporated into the physical education program. Why do we have mandatory PE if a kid is just going to go to lunch afterwards and grab a slice or two of pizza and a brownie for dessert and get a cup of soda as well? And what in the end will cost more, billions of dollars in healthcare or slightly more expensive school lunches? Nutrition classes should also be implemented or at least partnered with the physical education curriculum, because exercising is only half the battle to maintaining a healthy weight. Kids need to be taught how to eat well as well. Secondly, healthy food needs to be made more readily available to everyone. Fast food restaurants need to cut back their sizing, because a large fry at McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, which is considered a side, can be upwards of 500 calories. And that number of calories is often considered a meal, but as only French fries, it has nearly no nutritional value. Moreover, cities need to be funded by their state and by the federal government to ensure that every single citizen has access to fresh produce and unprocessed foods. Grocery stores are correlated with lower obesity rates, while the presence of convenience stores and fast food restaurants is conversely so. Lower income citizens live in food deserts, regions scarce in fresh food options and high in fast food restaurants and convenience stores. And in these food desert regions, obesity rates tend to be higher. However, great ideas and proposed solutions are essentially useless unless they are actually acted upon. So if we continue to ignore the threat that obesity poses to our nation, we are setting ourselves up for an economic and health crisis. Obesity is a great expense to absolutely everyone. The Atlantic reports that obese people spend 42% more on healthcare each year than normal weight people do. And the Get America Fit Foundation reports that treatment of obesity-related illnesses last year alone cost $190.2 billion, which is over 21% of all medical spending. Hospitals now are investing in wider wheelchairs and machines called mini cranes to transport obese patients. And the Federal Transit Authority is now experimenting with new buses that have better brakes and improved steering to accommodate carrying heavier passengers. By ignoring obesity, we are putting our nation at risk for major health issues. Obese kids become obese adults. And as I've already said, obese children are at risk for things like diabetes and some social problems. However, when they become obese adults, they are at risk for a laundry list of health issues. The National Heart, Blood, and Lung Association reports that many obese adults face diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, high blood pressure, stroke, and even cancer. So now that I've laid out my plan and vision, let's review. 35% of the United States adult population is obese, and over 70% are overweight. So we have a clear health crisis on our hands of fast food frequenters and overeaters. To address this, I proposed a multifaceted approach of education, fast food regulation, and introducing whole foods to poor neighborhoods. If we continue to ignore this crisis, it will spell disaster for our economy and our collective well-being. So you might be thinking, what can I do about this? So for yourself, maybe the next time you're at Rand or in Commons, get a side of steamed vegetables instead of French fries, and forego that cookie as dessert for some fruit. And exercise, because that's half the battle. For when you're older, raise your kids right. Introduce them to a variety of fresh foods and use fast food as a treat. Because habits start young, and it's better to make healthy the norm. For others, encourage your friends and family to do the same. Obesity is a disease that must be tackled one person at a time, and it starts with you today. Thank you.